What is up? This is your LA in a minute, and up top is Hussein Farah Aidid, who was one of the most feared military warlords in all of Africa when he was president of Somalia. But before he was president of Somalia, he was in the U.S. Marine Corps. And prior to that, he went to high school in Los Angeles. So how did LA produce a feared military warlord? Let's get into it. Hussein Farah Aidid was born in 1962, 2 years after Somalia had gained its independence. He was born in a city called Galkayo, which is the third largest city in Somalia. Galkayo is where his father was stationed for the military. His father, Mohammed Farah Aidid, was the first commander of the Somali National Army. His father stayed in Somalia and continued to fight through rebellions, a bloodless revolution and coup d'etat, and civil wars, continuing to stay atop the Somali military ranks. In 1993, his father was blamed and held responsible for the deaths of 25 peacekeepers in Mogadishu, which was memorialized in the film Black Hawk Down. Mohammed Farah Aidid declared himself president of Somalia in 1995, but he perished the following year in Mogadishu. And when the elder Aidid passed away, that's when the 34-year-old resident of Los Angeles, Hussein Farah Aidid, was declared president of Somalia. But wait, how did he get to Los Angeles in the first place? Hussein Farah Aidid had come to Covina in the 1970s with Asil Dubat, who was the first wife of Mohammed Farah Aidid. He landed at Covina High School, where he was enrolled as Hussein Farah. He wasn't active in clubs or sports and does not appear in the yearbook, but he did graduate in 1981. After Aidid graduated, he went to work for the city of West Covina in the engineering department, where he would update city water maps, count cars in traffic, and enter data into the city's computer system. While working for the city of West Covina, he took civil engineering classes at Cal Poly Pomona. In 1987, he joined the Marine Corps, where he's known as Corporal Hussein Farah, and he was an artilleryman assigned to Battery B of the 14th Marines at the Marine Corps Reserve Base in Pico Rivera. He was deployed during Desert Storm as part of Operation Rescue Hope, which was a U.S.-led task force in Somalia, whose aim was to disrupt the army of Mohammed Farah Aidid, his own father. He was selected in the role because he was the only one who knew how to speak Somali. After he completed his deployment, he returned and became a naturalized U.S. citizen. But he told his command in 1995 that he would miss drill for a while because he was traveling outside the U.S. That's when he returned to Somalia. This timeline coincided to when his father was declared president of Somalia. But again, his father passed away within a year, and Hussein Farah Aidid, the man who went to high school and some college in Los Angeles, was named his successor as president to Somalia. Initially as president, he vowed to crush his enemies at home and overseas. He continued his father's policies, which many saw as a power grab, and forces loyal to Aidid were known to rob and kill civilians in their controlled territories. That said, Aidid eventually softened his policies and renounced his claim to the presidency and agreed to UN-brokered peace agreements in 1997. He was an anti-Islamist, and thus he made a unique ally in U.S. President George W. Bush, and he actually helped the Bush administration track down the flow of arms and money through Mogadishu and eventually capture some al-Qaeda. He served various roles and official capacities in the Somali government in the 2000s, including Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of the Interior, and Minister of Public Works. And he defected to Eritrea in 2007, where he's been ever since. And that is the story of how a warlord in Africa, a Somali president, went to high school in Los Angeles. All right, LA, it's been a minute.